This program airs statewide on California Public Television and is a California's Gold classic.
Hi, I'm Huell. Welcome to Olvera Street, a very historic place. Because you see, back in the 1780s, this was literally the birthplace of the city of Los Angeles. And since that time, lots of different groups of people have called the area right around here home, including the Afro-Americans, the Chinese community, the Italians, and the French. Since the 1930s, the Hispanic community of Los Angeles has considered this place to be kind of its showplace, its centerpiece. And what better place to start our program than right here, because our entire program is about mariachi music. And if you're in a musical mood and you feel like joining us, come on along with us as we all continue our search together, this time with the help of music for California's goal.
It's known as the music of the people, and supposedly it started in the state of Jalisco in the west central part of Mexico back in the mid-1800s. I say supposedly because, like everything else these days, there seems to be some controversy about exactly where and when mariachi started.
The word mariachi is a mystery, but there's many theories. One of the most popular theories, and probably one of the theories that many of your viewers at home have heard of, is actually a false theory, but it's a very romantic, a very exciting theory, but it's wrong. And that theory was that the word mariachi evolved from the French word for mariage, and that during the French occupation of Mexico from 1861 through 67, that's when the word mariage was sort of started to be applied to the musicians who were probably playing for the French weddings and were using a lot of French melodies, and that pretty soon these musicians started calling themselves after the wedding, which was the marriage.
If that's wrong, what's right?
Right. Well, the reason it's wrong is because there's documentation of the word mariachi back to the 1850s, actually of one particular documentation of a priest complaining about the noisy, drunken sounds of the mariachis. And I don't say that negatively or pejoratively, but there is written documentation. So probably back to the 1840s or 1850s, like I say, the word mariachi, because it came to be in the area of Jalisco, may very well be related to some of the indigenous vocabulary of the Coca Indians. There's actually a town there named Cocula, which is named after the Coca Indians, and it's very possibly, there's a whole book written on it by a guy named Hermes Rafael in Mexico on the linguistic origins of the word mariachi and the history of it. There are other theories that the word came from the word Maria, evolved into mariachi, or that also it may have come from the name for the virgin in an area there, a virgin that was called Maria de la H, and that evolved from that. So there's many theories, and the point is, though, is that somehow this word came out and came to be used for this ensemble of musicians that started to regionally develop a very exciting kind of music in the mid-19th century.
Well, I'm not sure we settled that controversy about exactly where or when mariachi music started. But one thing's for sure, over the years it's become more and more popular and spread all over the world, thanks to radio and records and movies. Movies from the golden age of Mexican cinema back in the 30s and 40s. Movies starring famous mariachi singers like Pedro Infante and Jorge Negrete.
Soy el charro mexicano, noble, valiente y leal, de su pueblo siempre hermano. Soy el charro que se llena todo el alma con amor, el de la Virgen Morena de su patria y de su Dios.
What is it about mariachi that so captivates people? Obviously, it's captivated you.
It has. There's a lively quality to it that's really important. It catches people's attention. The music is nice, but also it captivates a lot of sentiment, a lot of emotion. And so it communicates this whole range from being happy to being sad, to being lively, to being romantic. And it does all of that. The mariachi is sort of, because of that range, it's just inherently exciting for me and for a lot of people that listen to it.
Can we hear the most traditional mariachi sound that there is?
Sure.
The stereotypical mariachi sound?
Okay, the son Jalisciense is the rhythm that comes out of Jalisco. That's the most famous rhythm, and el son de la negra is the most famous of the sones.
Is the group ready?
I'm sure they would be.
Let's hear that one. This is the traditional sound of the mariachi.
Papel volando, negrita de mis pesares, como de papel volando, y a todos diles que sí, pero no le digas cuando ya sí me dijiste a mí, por eso vivo penando.
What is the yelling for?
The gritos?
Yeah.
The gritos, that shows involvement. It just shows that the music is captivating. People are caught up into it.
He's your best yeller, isn't he? What do you call that? What's the
grito?
Grito.
Uh-huh.
Can he give us a good one?
Grito por ahí.
Sí. Why was he laughing? He thinks he's better?
No.
Can you give us one?
Better, not as much better.
Very
We should have a grito contest here in the audience. I'm sure.
No, but that's a real part of the music, isn't it?
It is, and you see it in different contexts. Even audience will do that. It's sort of a sign that the music is right. It's aesthetic involvement. They're captivated and caught in the moment. And so when you hear the gritos, then you know that it's working.
Now, technically speaking, to be a mariachi group, you have to have certain instruments, right?
That's correct.
Could you go through the group with us and explain to us, in not too technical a way, exactly what all of this is?
Okay, sure. The modern mariachi has 4 basic instruments that are the components: the vihuela, guitarrón, trumpet, and violin. Okay, the guitarrón and the vihuela are instruments that are indigenous to Mexico. They're sort of coming out of the Spanish missionary influence, the mixture of the Indian and the Spanish, the whole process of mestization in Mexico. And in different parts of Mexico, different instruments developed. So this is the foundation, the rhythm section of the mariachi.
This is
the vihuela.
Vihuela.
Vihuela, right. It has 5 strings. And the way the tuning is, it's like a guitar, but the tuning is a little bit inverted. And the instrument is designed to have a fast decay.
Could he play just to let us hear the sound
of the strings, or some?
Just a little, yeah, just. that combines with this, which is the...
This is the guitarrón.
Which is very thick. Could we hold that up so we can... It's a thick-looking...
Sure, and the vihuela has the same shape.
Right.
They're related shapes. The guitarrón is a special instrument. It's the bass, but it's also... there aren't very many portable acoustic basses in the world, so this is kind of an interesting thing.
Could we hear that?
The other interesting thing, sure, about it is that it's played in octaves, so it's being plucked in almost a harp-like style.
We hear just a little bit of the... Sounds kind of like a bass, doesn't it?
It is a bass, absolutely. Especially when he plays rock and roll bass lines on it. It sounds a lot like a rock and roll.
Now here are our old friends back here. This is the distinctive sound here.
Right. The trumpets are actually, in modern mariachi, a fairly late addition, coming fixed maybe in the 1920s and 1930s.
Really?
That's right.
So the early groups didn't even have the trumpets?
No, the earliest mariachis were probably harp, quinta, which is sort of like the vihuela, and violins.
Could we hear just a
Trumpets?
few seconds of trumpets? We kind of know what they sound like, but it'd be fun to hear them. Very good.
And that the double trumpet sound is now really what people recognize for modern mariachi.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And this is the, do you call them fiddles, violins?
No, violins, call, you know, modern mariachi, again, well, violins go back to the earliest days of mariachi, of course. In modern mariachis, you usually have 3 or more violins, and play in 3 parts. So you have 3-part, usually parallel harmonies for the violin section.
Can we hear just a little bit
Sure.
of that?
¿Qué vamos a tocar?
Very good. And you put it all together.
That's right.
And you have that unmistakable sound.
That's right.
Now, I'm curious as to how popular the music is as part of the ambiance of your restaurant and Olvera Street and all of that.
No, it really does make the ambiance of the street. I think anything that, well, you like liveliness. In a Mexican atmosphere, part of the culture would require a song, dance, color. I mean, that's part of the Mexican culture, an intricate part of it.
So it's something that almost your customers have come to expect when they come in here to eat Mexican food.
Oh, absolutely. They always call me and they say, do you have mariachis today? And I say, absolutely, come on down. And then they really do enjoy it. They ask for songs and sit there for hours listening to music sometimes.
Now, you said, do they have mariachis? Now, that's this debate we're having about what are mariachis, who are mariachis, and what is it. Do you have mariachis, or do you have 4 guys playing music?
I have 3 guys playing music. We have a trio.
Okay.
And I guess in English, in the Anglo culture, in Mexican culture, 3 guys is a trio. In Mexican culture, if you have a mariachi, what you're talking about is the men that are wearing the charro outfits with the big sombreros, and they tend to have quite a diverse selection of instruments. They'll have a violin, they'll have trumpets, they'll have the big guitar.
So it's a big group.
That's right, and it's a specific type of music that they play also. While various mariachis are very diverse in what they play, people have come to expect a specific type of music from the large mariachi group. The trios that we have play either romantic music, or they play, which are called boleros in Spanish, or they'll play norteño music, northern music, the cowboy polka style music.
Now, Vivien has brought us over here to the corner of 1st and Boyle Street in East LA, because this is kind of the place on a Saturday afternoon especially, where things kind of happen as far as mariachis are concerned.
That's right. Everybody's out looking for a job, looking to perform and make somebody's night a happy one.
So what's the deal here? The mariachi groups come over here and just kind of wait?
They assemble. This is very much like Plaza Garibaldi in Mexico City, where it's a tradition there that mariachis will all accumulate in a certain part of town. Everybody knows where that is. And here in Los Angeles, this is the place if you want to come and pick up a mariachi band.
Mm-hmm. For any kind of event.
A party, a wedding, whatever you want. Just a little good music to go along.
So do you wheel and deal? Is that the...
You're going to negotiate. That's right, absolutely.
Well, let's start negotiating and see what we can come up with.
See who's out here tonight.
Yeah. Well, there's a whole group over there. Think we ought to walk over
They're
there?
ready.
Let's walk over here and see what we've got.
They're excited.
Now, is this all one group, do you think?
It looks like it.
Hello.
Buenas tardes. El señor Huell Hauser tiene su propio programa.
Is there someone I can talk with about...
¿Quiere que yo traduzca
you speak
para él?
English?
No.
No English?
No English.
No English?
Nada. Estamos bien fregados.
Well, you're going to have to negotiate this then.
Bueno, ¿ustedes tienen su propio grupo de mariachi? I asked him if he had his own mariachi group.
Uh-huh.
¿Sí?
This is the group here.
¿Cuántos son? 7 players altogether.
Now, is work, are they waiting for someone to come by? Is that the deal?
¿Esperando un cliente?
Esperando a que caiga.
¿Sí? ¿Siempre caiga los sábados?
Regularmente.
Regularly, they pick up work every Saturday, they said, right here.
So they're here every Saturday. But how could I negotiate with them if I don't speak Spanish and they don't speak English?
¿Cómo puede negociar el precio con ustedes si él no habla español, dice? ¿Y ustedes no hablan?
Bueno, normalmente los clientes son latinos.
Normally the customers are all Latinos, so that's not a problem.
But I'm in big trouble then, aren't I?
Tiene problemas él, dice, para negociar.
Sí.
Yes.
How does this ever work?
¿Cómo puede contratarles si quiere? You show them the money and they'll be there.
See, you got a business card here that he just handed you.
So what I do, I go to every single one, negotiate the best deal, and take it from there.
You're going to go to every single mariachi group and negotiate?
Right. It's just the best way to do it.
Well, good luck.
Okay.
I hope you find a group.
Oh, we will.
Gosh,
Thanks.
he doesn't know what he's got ahead of him. There's a lot of mariachi groups around here. Good luck. How would I know how good they were if I didn't hear them play before I hired them?
No, you wouldn't be able to tell. You just have to take your chances. That's part of this arrangement. You hire them, and if they're good, well, you'll have them back another time, and if they're not, then you wouldn't.
Does anyone ever ask them to audition?
No, he says that's not part of the arrangement.
No se usa eso aquí a dar audiciones.
Because we don't use the auditioning here.
Really? So you're still in high school?
Yeah.
Wow, how did you get started in mariachi?
My parents, my family.
Mm-hmm. Are they here today?
He's my dad.
Oh, this is your father.
Yeah.
Wow, so you've been exposed to mariachi music since you were just a little boy.
Yeah.
Aquí entre todos aquí nosotros aquí.
He says he learned by everybody. They all taught him how to be a mariachi here.
So the
It's-
group kind of
it's a-
adopted him early on.
That's what it sounds like. He says they have a strong community. It's a unified community here. Everybody supports the other one here.
Una familia aquí.
A family.
A family of mariachi.
That's right.
It was a very special assembly program, an opportunity for the Garfield High School student mariachi to perform in front of their peers. It also was an opportunity for the student folklorico group Alma Mestiza to perform. Now all this took place in the first half of the program. Then the pros arrived. Mariachi Los Camperos, to be exact. a group known and respected around the world. Founded and directed by Nati Cano, Los Camperos puts on quite a show.
Lázalo que se te fue, échame tus brazos mi alma y nunca te olvidaré. Ella es malotra, para chula, como tú sabes. Diles que sí, pero no le digas cuando firme. Soy Fernando.
Now the program ended on even a higher note, as the student mariachis joined with the pros on stage for the grand finale.
Ahora, comadre Chencha, zapatele con mi compadre Carlito.
And there was more too, because after the performance, instruments in hand, it was off to the band room, where these young mariachi students had the opportunity of a lifetime. Because you see, they got to spend the afternoon one-on-one with some of the most famous mariachi musicians in the world.
Fiesta time today.
I knew it was going to be something special. I didn't know it was going to be this special. What is a day like this all about?
Well, we feel that we come here to spend a day with these people, I mean, these young kids. I mean, it's up to them to continue our future. I mean, the tradition of our music is in their hands. So why not come and help them to learn what we love so much?
What are y'all talking about?
We talk about music.
Yeah.
It's not technical, it's not written, and it's more feeling, and you're not on time all the time, and you kind of, like, this is a piece that's not on time. We kind of just go along with the rhythm and follow them, and so that's the hardest part of this.
Yeah, but it's fun, isn't
it? We're having a blast.
We look at them, how good they are, and all the new experiences they have. And by their experiences, we learn too at the same time.
Now, what kind of things would you learn from just hanging out with them for the day?
No, the techniques that they use, and it's fun, you know, you get to know them, so that way, like, it's like a big organization, you know, the mariachi, and the new ones come in, and the old ones show you what they know, so then you go up to their level, and then you show the younger people, so it just keeps on going and going.
Do your friends appreciate mariachi the same way you do?
Some people at the beginning make fun of mariachi, but once they see you performing and they hear how good you are, they applaud and they stand up, and they're proud for you.
Now, how did you get interested in mariachi? Have you always loved the music?
No, I never even liked it at all until once, like...
What do you mean you never even liked it at all?
I didn't. I mean, once I went to Guadalajara and I saw this big group, you know, a big group with these funny-looking trajes and everything. It's like, and I thought and I looked, I go, and I told my dad and my mom, I go, what is that, you know? I was making fun of the guys because the pants were tight. You know, they were tight. And I would look at them and I would laugh. But then after I heard the music, I heard the style, and it was different. And, like, I liked it, you know. I go, well, this is Mexican style. This is the culture, you know. It's my culture, and I want to play it. So since then, I just really started playing violin about a year ago. And I really started playing mariachi about a year ago, too. And now I'm in Garfield Mariachi, and I love it. It's my life now.
I was genuinely impressed by how impressed your students were with this group today, and how they respected them, and how they listened to them, and how they learned from them.
I'm glad that came across because the first thing we want to do is engender that respect for the tradition, respect for those carriers that Mr. Cano here has carried on and started in spite of tremendous difficulties, and he's kind of made a highway for us, whereas before it was a dirt path or even less, and he forged that path, and so they have a lot of respect for that, and they've got to if they really want to carry on the tradition. Without that respect, they're not going to carry it on. It's going to be something for fun, and then they're going to pass on.
It's been a good day all around.
It's been, I told you, fiesta time.
Yeah, he said fiesta time.
Did you feel that way? Did you feel that? Okay, that's what it is.
Isn't that what mariachi is?
That's what it's all about. Like he says, we learn from just listening to other players. We pick it up, and somebody's singing, we start singing. So that becomes a way of life. This is our life, the mariachi.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. I agree. That's 100%. If this doesn't do it for you, you're pretty far gone.
Desde que supe que Juan es la Virgen de Guadalupe, ay, 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 ay. Es bien sabido que el amor de Morena extinguido, ay, 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 ay. ¡Ahora, muchachos! ¡Hagan llorar a sus violines! Saca tu montaquito, celito lindo, velo sacando. Que si tú tienes miedo, celito lindo, yo estoy andando. Saca tu montaquito, celito lindo, velo sacando. Que si tú tienes miedo, celito lindo, yo estoy andando. Ajá, 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 que risa me da. Que en su tirada, ¿cuál será? Ajá, 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 que risa me da. Que en su tirada, ¿cuál será?
Well, I hope you enjoyed this adventure. And I think we all learned a little bit more about this wonderful music called mariachi, which has become so much a part of the culture of our state. Well, as we close this program, as always, I'd like to thank you for joining us and invite you to tune in again next time as we all continue our search together for California's gold. Goodbye, everybody.
Well, hello everybody, I'm Huell Hauser, and I sure hope you enjoyed this adventure. If you'd like to see it again or share it with your family or friends, or perhaps donate a copy to your local school or library, it's available on video cassette and on DVD. All you have to do is call 1-800-266-5727, and we'll be glad to send it to you right away.